lot of people put so much stress on themselves to please others and to make sure that their business is going, which was part of me, right? I was like, oh, I got to get this. And then I was like, finally like, dude, put myself first, man.
You have to put up boundaries, right? Boundaries allow you to create a foundation. When you put up boundaries, now you're able to build a base.
You really have to dig deep and start thinking to mature in a way, even more than what you've already thought you've matured. And unfortunately, we live in a very distracted, very short attention span kind of society, right?
Huh?
You know that firsthand, but
as the host, I can't say anything. Welcome to this edition of the Balanced CEO podcast. I'm excited to have my good friend, longtime friend, Khristian Avalar here.
Appreciate you, man.
We don't see each other much, so I'm really glad I have a podcast to get him to come visit, for his own personal publicity and marketing.
Because you sound so selfish,
because, nothing else works, so,
He's lying, folks. He's lying, folks. We meet about every 5 years to play golf somewhere.
Yeah, or go to Vegas
or go
boxing.
to Vegas and gamble our lives away.
Yeah, see a little boxing in between.
Yeah, that was good. That
was fun.
That was super fun, man. One of the greatest travesties in boxing, judging-wise, right?
That's right. That last match was real. Yeah, that was so blatant.
The Haney-Lomachenko fight.
That's right.
Boxing fans, you'll know. Yep. Yeah, but that was
Haney's just gone downhill from there, hasn't he? Like his whole brand is just wrecked right now. I feel like I just see nothing but negative in the news.
Complaining, victim mentality, and that doesn't fly in the boxing world, So,
yeah, especially when you get handed fights, you didn't win.
Exactly. Against a legend.
Yeah, you owe at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll talk more about boxing, but right now let's talk a little bit more about you. Let's get some background. I know you're in the real estate industry. You are a realtor.
Realtor or realtor, whatever.
Yeah, however you want to pronounce it. You do some investing on it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you have your own brand. So tell us, how did you get up into the real estate game? What brought that along?
So just basically, restaurant life. Pretty much all of my life, my parents were in the restaurant business. My sisters and I just took over, so we're still in there too. So I'm still involved in that. Not as how I used to be on hand, but behind the scenes. But that's because I went into real estate full time. So I just I wanted some change. That whole 14-hour days, and then waking up the next morning, and then just smelling like tacos every day. It was just like, you know what? I might want to just sell some houses instead of some tacos, right? So yeah, I just decided I was like, I'm gonna get my license. I failed it 3 times. Finally got my license, and man, since then it's just been a whole different thing. So build my own brand, but under a brokerage. But yeah, it's been a good change.
Right on, man. So that must have been quite the struggle to fail something like that so many times. But that shows some pretty deep resilience to keep coming back.
Yeah, and so I mentioned that because it's when you get into the business, the test has nothing to do with the business, right? It is completely different. You don't see any of those questions that you see on the test, but also it showed that I wasn't really prepared, in my mindset until that last time, right? I remember just kind of studying, quote unquote, but not really learning it, right? And then that last time I was like, forget this, man. I need to pass this. So I started actually learning the studies and passed it with flying colors. And from then, it was like a whole different mindset switch, right? Instead of no more failure kind of switch, no more bullshit. And since then, I was just like, let's get it.
All right.
Yeah, it's been cool.
So you got your license. Before that, you were in the restaurant business. When did fitness kind of grab a hold of you?
When I stopped eating all those tacos every day, bro.
So it's got away from the free breakfast, lunch, and dinners every day.
Yeah. It was there was a lot of factors that put me where I'm at now. There's just the young, dumb mentality. Growing up Mexican, there's not very much how we have it here, right, in regard to calorie intake, oh, watch this, watch that. You know, growing up, it was like, oh, mijo, just eat that. Oh, you're not. Oh, keep eating, and whatever it was, right?
And they insist on feeding you, and it's disrespectful to say no.
Yeah, definitely. And the things that, you know, eat anything, right? You're not knowing that a bag of chips and a soda is like, it's just a snack, but in reality, that's killing you, right? And making me little gordito. So it just blew up. And then finally, you know, there was some changes where like I wasn't feeling right. My mindset was very, you know, lazy. It wasn't like, you know, not depressed, but just kind of like, what am I doing, dude? Like, this isn't right. Like something was there, right? I think I've always been like, I need to be better. So since then, yeah, dude, I decided to put my foot down and started actually learning myself. There was inspiration from others, but at the end of the day, it was my own doing by, you know, learning about calorie intakes, fasting, you know, exercise, all that good stuff. I've always been active, but not active.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I know you've always kind of, you know, boxing has always been a thing.
Yeah.
Activity level has always been a thing. You got pretty busy there for a little while with the real estate thing.
Yeah.
I mean, your portfolio really took off. And by portfolio, I mean, actual client portfolio definitely took off there. Wasn't like around
2013 was when I first started, but like 2016 was like, my whole brand was kicked off. It was going pretty good. And since then it was, it's been pretty consistent.
Yeah. I was going to say 2015. So I think, that's about like the time we met. What, in 2012? Was that when the Allen's wedding was?
Was it? I don't remember. Was it that long ago?
Did they hit 10 years or 12? I don't even know. I'm going to get in trouble for this because Chris knows my anniversary and wishes a happy anniversary every year.
And I'm the
Chris,
bad
turn
friend,
this
bro.
off.
And
turn it off.
I'm the bad friend. Yeah, dude, has it been?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So quick story, guys, if you don't know, we met for the first time at the table we were sitting at for the wedding. I was the best man, naturally. Khristian was lucky to like
Yeah.
And just happened, I think Sherry knew and put us at the same table.
Landscaper.
That's right. Yeah, something like that. They had some interesting connection.
Yeah.
And I think you were supposed to cater it through the restaurant. And then
Is that what it was?
I don't remember.
I don't remember that either. Maybe.
I don't know. I just know like Sherry had known you for a long time.
Yeah, I think it was through the group of friends that like Jason, Chris, and Steve and all those.
Yeah, because Chris never mentioned you once, so you were a complete shock to me when I sat down at the table.
Exactly. Yeah. It was through Sherry. Yeah.
And we just got along right there. I mean, it was just
good.
like instantaneous.
Same sense of humor.
It was real quick. So like sometimes that happens, man. And I think it was interesting. You know, I was looking into the real estate industry at that time. Like I was looking at making that switch, and you walked me through a lot of it. And I realized I don't know if I really want to be a realtor as much as I want to be a real estate investor.
Yeah. It's very different, and very few realtors get into that, right? Because I mean, a lot of them focus on it's a very time consuming job. But also there are a lot of people that don't, you know, do as what's that saying? What is that American saying? Praise what you preach or do what you preach, or you know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't really see much of that initiative or that extra proactive thing from a lot of realtors. So it is very hard to do both. So I think you chose the less stressful and, in a way, not be an alcoholic way, right? Because if you go into the real estate business, you know, that's what happens. But
yeah, I hear it. I hear what you're saying. The investing side has been pretty rocky for me too. But again, it's one of those things you learn, you grow, you get better, you move on.
Yeah, and it's just you, right? I mean, well, sometimes you're dealing with other investors, but in reality, you're just focusing on you. You know, in real estate, you got your clients, you got a lot of other, you know, things that are in the dynamic.
You have the opposing realtor, you have
the lenders,
brokerages, and everybody else that you got to answer to, and title companies, and there's a lot of handshaking and kissing babies in that world to get things done. Push paperwork through.
Yeah, a lot of, you know, connections are huge, and you just have to know what the right connections to make, because there are, like in any other business, you know, big piles of shit out there. So, yeah.
So how are you balancing all that? And then I know you've lost, what, like 70, 80 pounds, something like that?
Man, I think it's close to like 110 or something.
110 now.
Yeah.
So like, how do you balance doing all that with, I mean, I can't imagine it's a like short work day,
dude,
on top of like having to dive in and out of the restaurant every now and then I'll see a post from you, like picking up 8,000 to go containers or like, whatever for the restaurant.
I just did that before coming here, man. Yeah. So, it's basically do time management, man. It's, literally working the next day, the day before. Right. So,
that's interesting.
Yeah. Having initiative and proactive, mindset, like I mentioned before, to have your calendar set and your task set and just being disciplined. And, being disciplined came from, I think a lot of it was, how to lose that weight. I had to be disciplined. I had to be uncomfortable. I had to do things that I wasn't used to. And it just kind of, once you evolve that way, it just flows into your business, right? And the way you conduct your business and how you do your business. So, less going out, party, and less going out, with, let's go out for drinks. And then it's, nah, I got stuff to do the next couple of days. I don't even want to deal with that. So there's a lot of discipline to that. And that's what it is. It's just discipline, and you get it done, and you just focus and go.
So I love that, because I do agree. I'm trying to break through 100 now. Do you feel like there was like a stopping point for a long time before you broke that 100 barrier, or was that kind of a smooth?
Yeah. So I was just looking at like what number I wanted to get to. Right. And then I realized like, oh, okay, well, I've lost this amount. But there was a point where, I hit a plateau and I had to switch things around. Right. And that's when I started intermittent fasting and just doing some different kind of thing. And it worked. Right. But, also the thing was that I wanted to get to a certain number, like I mentioned, and that's a big mistake in my eyes. I think it's just, how you feel, how your clothes feel, and just, and like your belt is one of the biggest, tells, right?
Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Shit.
So I think that those are the biggest wins, when you start seeing that, when clothes starts feeling better, and then you start seeing more definition. But if the scale's telling you like a certain number, don't get depressed. Cause at some points I'm like, man, what the hell, dude? Like, why am I not hitting more? Is this it or whatever? But then you start noticing other things, and you're like, wow, okay, cool. So, I think just focus on what you're doing. And if you feel like there's a number that you want to break, you could probably do it. You just got to sacrifice some things and try different things. Right.
Right. So tell me more about, the just general mindset that you had to change. Like, was it just a heavy partying mindset?
Yeah, it was more like a revolving door bullshit, like typical, like, oh, hey, well, Friday, Saturdays, we're going out to the bars, or we're going out to dinners, and we're going out. And it's like, then that, it's just like Groundhog Day, right? Every week. And you just got to break that. And I broke it very extreme wise. I just said, I'm done. I just said, hey, on the weekends, I'm going on my own to run the reservoir, to do this and that. Friends want to come, cool. But if not, I'm good. I'll be solo. So I flew solo for, being and basically maturing on my own. So that's what I think is needed, to be honest with you.
I agree. I think, I don't think people realize, especially when you got to lose a lot of weight, you got to make some big changes. A lot of that change comes in solitude and silence.
100%.
Like 100%. I disappeared for a long time. Like I barely came into the gyms because I was like, I cannot take any distractions right now, because it will just nick me right off the path.
Yeah. And it has to do with weakness, right? We have to admit that although we're both strong-minded and strong individuals, everybody has a weakness, right? But if you know how to manage that and bring in that strength of like, hey, you know what? Those sacrifices that I'm doing is for the best. It's going to, be amazing at the end.
I think you also got to know that in the beginning, it doesn't take much to knock you off track.
Right.
Right. And everybody promotes that. It's okay. Just get back on the wagon. But the problem is, like, if your whole life has been one pattern and you start this new pattern and 2 weeks in, you get knocked off, it's going to take weeks or months to get back into the groove, and it's hard. It feels like day one all over again.
Yeah. And it not just physically, but mentally, right?
Right.
You start knocking yourself. Why did I do that, man? I was doing so well. Da-da-da-da-da. And you have 1 or 2 days of that mentality, trickles down to more, So yeah, that's same. We got the same mindset on that.
So when you're going through all this, like what are some of the stressor triggers that you have to kind of look for if there's a real estate agent watching this, someone in the industry, title, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But they're looking at this and they're going, yeah, I feel that, like it's constantly stressful. Like I don't think I can pull away from my lifestyle right now, but I want to lose weight. Like, are there any triggers or things that like you would recommend?
Here's the thing. I mean, it sounds harsh, but stop being a pussy. Like pretty much stop being a pussy and just be like, hey, sacrifice this to get this. And that's just the bottom line, right? You have to like really cut a lot of fat out right away. And, and no pun intended, but you have to really like isolate. And if you feel that your business is going to take a hit because you're doing that and you're not going out to networking and you're not, hanging out with realtors, or you're not doing this, or you're not doing that, or you're up all day, all night eating crap because you want to get that last contract out and all that, that is just going to be worse at the end, because you're going to be physically and mentally stressed out and not be the best for your business, right? If you really kind of scale down on your business and start mentally preparing yourself and say, hey, this is not a big deal. I could go to bed early and pick it up in the morning. Hey, you know what? These people will hold up. They'll wait for me tomorrow, or this, or and then go to bed early, wake up early, go to the gym. All that time that you're stressing out and doing all that shit, no one cares. No one's going to be there anyway, right? They're going to be right there when you wake up and after the gym. And I don't know if I'm rambling, but I'm telling you that it's all in your mind, right?
Yeah.
So it's all in your mind.
You're not rambling. That's also in your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's, I think a lot of people put so much stress on themselves to please others and to make sure that their business is going, which was part of me, right? I was like, oh, I got to get this. And then I was like, finally like, dude, put myself first, man. Because if I don't, then my business is going to fail. My relationships are going to fail because they have, family, love relationships, friend, because of all the stress and my attitude and how I was going about it, right? So once I put myself first, I say I have gratitude for solitude. I love myself. I can't love anyone else without loving myself first. So
yeah, you're always going to hit a wall.
Always, yeah.
Again, I think you're just nailing it. What my thing has always been is like, you have to put up boundaries, right? Boundaries allow you to create a foundation.
Yep.
When you put up boundaries, now you're able to build a base. And once that base is built, now you're able to build an even taller building, an even stronger fortitude of your business and your mind and your capabilities, because you took the time to step back and rebuild.
Right.
Right. And yeah, it might take a hit financially. It might take a hit on your credit or your respect or your, but at the same time, it's going to allow you to find the right clients that want this version of you versus the version that had no boundaries and was at their beck and call 24/7.
Yeah. And it, just like in personal life too, if your friends don't like that version of you that you're changing into, then they weren't really your friends, or they're envious, or they're just mad that you're not hanging out with them because you were providing some kind of thing for them, right? And I'm not talking monetary, but like maybe some other things, but
it's probably monetary too,
as well too, right? So you have to put yourself first to be the best, and then everything that comes to you afterwards is going to be the same level as you, right? Same type of person as you, right? And then from there you just thrive even more.
When do you feel like that really kicked in for you? I know it was post-pandemic, right? That this kind of started for you?
Yeah. So it was I think it started 2022, toxic relationship in a lot of ways, love, friendships, and, even with the pandemic, with work and stuff like that happened. And so it was a blessing in disguise, right? So got away from all that. And it was just like, from there, it was like, no joke when people say, oh my God, like, huge weight lifted off my shoulders. I didn't know there was such a dark cloud above me, and I'm not saying it was anyone else's fault. I had part in for choosing to be around people, right?
Sometimes you just don't even know because you're in
a bad space.
Well, that, and it's like in the moment,
Right.
You're seeing things like from this perspective rather than from a broad view. And when things slow down, you're actually able to see things from the wide landscape.
Right. And I think the biggest part was not to have blame on others, right?
Right.
And you have to not say, oh, it was because of this, it was because of that, it was this. No, it's because of this.
Yeah, I told Alexis all the time, I can't blame someone else for having a good time on my dime if I'm allowing it.
Right, exactly. So I think you have to be accountable for everything. No victim mentality, none of that with me, you know. And that was the turning point. I think it was just like, boom. It was a whole new me. I was like, oh, fresh start. This is me. And it felt really good, right? Like, like hell yeah. I'm still an idiot. You know that firsthand. But
as the host, I can't say anything. Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, we're still us. Yeah. We still have fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's just with the right people, right?
Right. It's with the right people on the right circumstances in a position where you know, A, it's never going to be used against you. Mm-hmm. B, it's never going to be used for personal gain, right? Like, there's so many people when you kind of start cutting all the bullshit and you look back and you're like, God damn, I had a lot of leeches.
Bro.
I had a lot of leeches. Yeah. And they were like good time friends. Mm-hmm. And I always tell people good time friends are great when the times are good.
Yep.
But the minute you start thinking about yourself, you start thinking about something other than good times, like they're the first people to tell you you're going the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just not hitting you up or just whatever. And
quietly, it's just like disappearing into the shadows.
Good. Like, dude,
it's amazing how quickly they go away and you forget they ever existed.
Bro.
You're like, man, I used to like wait for that call or wait for that text of what we're doing for the weekend. And like, it's been a month and I forgot they even exist.
Yeah.
That could be my ADHD too, because I tend to forget anyone I don't see very often. But for me, it was like pretty quick. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that person already.
And you know, even there's friends that are intertwined in that are still friends with me because they kind of went through the cracks and were like with me. They were like, yeah, right. So there were some true ones, but they were still, so they were affected in a way too. Right. So in a way and I've seen them thrive, right? It's just literally like when there's a repellent of like pests put on someone, they fucking go, right?
Yeah, they run.
Yeah.
They
and
scurry
so
real
that
quick.
repellent was like
health, right? Going to bed at a decent hour.
Yeah.
No late nights. Weekends spent building yourself rather than your party memories.
Mm-hmm. And all that was too hard for them.
Yeah.
Most likely it was too hard for them, right? They can't keep up. So in a weak mind, they're going to hate or they're going to be like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah. Well, right? You're a mirror to their inefficiencies, inadequacies, and their own weaknesses they're struggling with.
Correct.
And you're breaking away from it and they're going, well, he shouldn't be stronger than me. Mm-hmm. I know I can do what he does, but I don't want to. So rather than face that and like have that honest conversation with themselves, I like the way I am now, even though I know I could be better. They just go, oh, fuck that guy. Yeah.
They've seen me at my worst, right?
Right.
And if they want me still at my worst, then that's fucking terrible, dude. You know? And and even after you've made major changes, you're still not perfect. There's going to be some up and downs.
You're human.
Yeah, but it's not, you know, you know how to control yourself a lot more. So
yeah, I used to tell myself I was the balance for the group, right? Like I'm the negative side. I'm overweight. I'm a slob. I don't give a shit. I have like zero feelings. So like I'm this anchor of it. And then the good ones are over here on this side to keep it all balanced, right? Like, and it's like, as I start to change, I realized that was the truth. Like they looked at me the same way.
Yeah.
Right. They kept me around as almost like an ego boost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, you start getting better and improving yourself. And they're like, oh.
Yeah. They're like, wait a second.
This dynamic doesn't work anymore.
It's like that, that really hot girl always hanging out with some ugly ones so they could get the attention, right? Kind of thing, right? And vice versa. I mean, that whole group mentality is toxic, not just the pretty girl. You know, you have to also look at the other girls, like, why would you subject yourself to that knowing that, right? Because they know.
I mean, it's all in nature too. You watch those nature Discovery Channel shows and it's like the wildebeest hang out with one that's slow because they know if a lion comes, that one's going to get eaten and they're going to be safe. So it's like, you always keep that ripcord nearby in case of emergency.
That is so true. Yeah. So yeah, it's you really have to dig deep and start thinking at our age, to mature in a way even more than what you've already thought you've matured in the 20s and 30s, So I think at our age right now, it's pivotal because it's the hardest times in our lives. I mean, our parents are getting older, our careers are going. There's a lot of things going on in the 40s, and if you are not fully confident and mature in yourself, dude, you could be fucked.
You're gonna get run over. They say the 40s can be the worst decade of your life because of the stress.
Yeah,
you're trying to support a family. You're also trying to support aging parents. You've also got kids that are somewhat, if you have kids that are either my son's age, like 7, right? Where it's like you're getting into the deep into the sports and like all the extracurriculars, or you have kids that are in high school or college and you're paying for all that on top of it. Right. So it's like you're in this crazy decade where your mental fortitude can just get crushed if you're not taking care of yourself. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not able to have the clear mind for investing appropriately, budgeting appropriately, making sure you're taking time off.
Yeah. And that's huge too. I mean, because you forget.
Yeah. When we got to know each other, you were a workaholic.
Yeah.
I know you've taken a lot more time to like be.
Yeah.
And by be, I mean, just like exist like outside of work and like take in what life has given you.
And what it was when I started to get my health in check, all that was just like I said, it was, I took myself first and I said, hey, dude, man, I took a month-long trip to Europe on my own.
I remember that backpacking trip. Yeah.
Dude, it was just like, and before I would have been like, oh man, what if a client calls like, oh man, if I lose out on a deal, oh man, like this and that, or even let's take it in the personal, oh man, a plane flight that long, just so the travel, dude, all that was just mental because I was in a bad space. Dude, I was in a good space. I was like, bro, yeah, dude, like I enjoyed it, and like I was like, oh, my clients understood.
Yeah.
I got hit up by my clients. They're like, oh no, we'll wait till you get back. Like that's what I'm saying. Like we have such a clouded mentality that when you finally break through that, everything's going to be even better.
So I have 2 different directions I want to go with what you just said. So I'm going to start with this one and then we'll phase into the real estate side of it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a lot of the reason you talked yourself out of stuff was because you were so uncomfortable in your own skin that you
1,000.
couldn't handle doing anything actually uncomfortable that could benefit you?
Yep. Insecurities.
Right. So it's like the idea of going on a long trip and going to another country. It's like, nah, I'm overweight. I'm going to look like shit. They're going to treat me like shit. They're going to look down on me. So you just talk yourself out of it subconsciously about the flight or the cost or your clients, so you just limit yourself on the experiences you can have.
Yeah. The insecurities, like back then, not even just for those long trips. It's like, oh, like, man, there might be a lot of walking or like, what if I don't?
The walking thing used to get
or
me.
like clothes wise, like, what if I don't bring any clothes and are they going to have my size over there? Or like, or stuff like that. Right.
Not in Asia.
Yeah.
I can tell you that I was like a 14 XL over there.
Well, dude, I'm telling you, man, from London to Barcelona, my, suitcase got stuck in Barcelona for one day. So, I mean, in London for one day. So when I got to Barcelona, I had nothing, dude, just my backpack. And I get there, I'm like, bro, what am I going to, dude, I had to go. I went to Zara, which is like it's originally a Spanish brand, but they have them here. But people need to understand that the large over there is different than the large over here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And bro, I was looking like one of those busted tamales, dude. I had shorts in my, bro. I had to stay in my room for that night because, dude, I was like, bro, I can't be walking around like this,
just,
bro.
Just up there, baby Huey, like,
bro, I'm telling
looking
you,
in the
bro.
mirror, like, damn, man, I swear I lost weight.
Straight up, like Gus from Cinderella, you know, like with the with the half shirt up to the belly, bro. Like,
busted,
dude, I was like, man, I can't be walking around Barcelona, bro. You know, and at that time I was single, so I was like, dude, like beautiful women.
You'll be done.
Beautiful
you
women.
will be done, bro. You're gonna be a hashtag by the end of the night.
So yeah, so I just, but yeah, it's stuff like that, right? But
yeah,
at that time, I was very comfortable. It was just I was very at the cusp. I wasn't European size yet.
No, you know what? Like I had the same thing, and I think it was China, or it was China for sure.
Yeah.
And they're like, their 2XL was like our medium.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, we are big. We are so big compared to the rest of the world.
Oh, dude, it's bad. Yeah.
You know, so you got through all the discomfort, you got out there, right? Like the only thing I could think of that would made me uncomfortable about it was I've seen the movie Hostel way too many times. And
I'm bougie,
like,
bro.
Yeah, I knew you were
I'm
probably
bougie,
too bougie
bro.
to ever stay in a hostel, but I was like, bro, better not stay in any hostel. I seen how that ends.
I'm
Don't do it.
bougie. Yeah,
Don't go to Germany either.
Nah, the only place was Napoli in southern Italy. It's basically Mexico. I got off the train. I was like, bro, I'm in Mexico, bro.
I'm home.
Hey, where's my cousins, fool? But everywhere else, I was walking, and it is what it is. Yeah,
I've heard Italy's having some issues with that right now. I guess all Europe's having some issues right now. But
yeah.
Let's phase to real estate because I'm really interested in that side of things too.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about like discomfort, I know you've changed brokerages a few times. You started in one place, you kind of moved up. Where are you with now?
Real brokerage.
So Real's kind of like EXP, like they're the new up and coming, more forefront of this modern day real estate world. Technology, AI, marketing is different, presentations.
Yeah, no brick and mortar. It's all online. We have multiple brokers, accessible all online. So it is the new age. That's how it's gonna be. Let's face it, right?
Yeah.
And so there's conglomerates that are going that direction, like Compass, EXP, Real. But Real is mimicking EXP in a way, but it's more up and coming, a little bit more fresh. There's a lot of differences, right? They're learning from the mistakes that that kind of brokerage brings. So yeah, I'm with them, and I'm very happy with them. I started at a very mom and pop shop. Always will be grateful for them. JDK, and the brokerages were amazing. It was, my first few years, three years maybe with them. And then I went to another brokerage, which was opened by a buddy of mine, and it was just him and me. So basically it was just like, I was like, okay, still very mom and pop shop. I like this. Right. I'm very comfortable. Again, I wasn't in my mindset of where I was. So
right. You weren't in that hitter mindset. I was in the
comfort level stage. I was always comfortable.
Right. You always found the one that made you feel warm and cozy inside because you were locking that on your own.
Exactly. So then he moved away to Texas, and I was kind of left with as being like the operating manager here and all that stuff. And I was like, I kind of want more, a little bit more vibe, right? And then I got lucky enough to meet some good people from Real Brokerage, and moved to them. And since then, it's been great. The common denominator on all of them is that they've given me the freedom to do my own branding. So
I think that's crucial in this day and age. And I talk about it a lot. And one of the reasons this podcast exists and Dig In Media exists is to help small business owners tell their individual unique stories. Mm-hmm. And I think the whole faceless brand thing is not going to work unless you're a mega corporation going forward. Like if you're a small business trying to work as a faceless entity, there's no relationship, there's no story, there's nothing to hold on to. People want to feel some sort of emotive when they come buy from you. They want to feel like they supported someone. They want to feel like they supported a story, a feel good story or something. And I see one of my former real estate investing mentors, Brandon Brittingham, jumped to EXP. I think it's EXP recently. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of at the top of their, pyramid of branding out and bringing in new realtors. And I've noticed it's a huge play into the world of like, come in and brand your own stuff.
Yep.
But I don't think that's for everybody. I think there's a lot of people, like you said, that are like living in that comfort zone. For someone like that, and this can be any industry, it doesn't have to be real estate or a realtor specific. When you started making your own brand, you stepped on your own, were there some pitfalls or like massive things you wish you could have avoided? I feel like something that comes natural for you, so maybe not a lot, but I mean, is there anything you would recommend people look out for?
Yeah. So, I mean, always be yourself. And it sounds cliche, but the way I marketed myself, the way I branded myself, I didn't give a fuck about what anybody thought. I didn't study marketing. I didn't do any of that, but it's just always has been natural to me, right?
Yeah.
And my way of thinking of like, oh, this will work with that. And every thought that I had about, oh, what about this little marketing plan? I did it. I didn't say, oh, what are they going to think? Oh, this isn't normal. Oh, people aren't doing it. Oh, and that is the pitfall that a lot of people think like, oh no, it's not.
Yeah, I think
it's not what all these
imposter syndrome is a real motherfucker.
Yes, and like, oh, these very successful people, they're not doing this, so why would I do? Oh, never mind. No, I'm just going to do what they're doing, and that is the biggest mistake, because a consumer, a client, a person that wants to work with you, a person that wants to be friends with you, wants a real, unique individual in yourself, right?
Right.
And so that's what I did. I said, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do my own thing, and it has become very unique, right? I don't think you could see a lot of realtors or business people say the things I say on social media, or do the things I do, or laugh about things that But it's me. But people know that.
Yep.
I'm not like. It's social media.
Right.
I'm not.
You've created a lane and you're staying in it. And I think that's something people are afraid to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And I'm real and truthful and honest, but also it's border, I'm not disrespecting anybody, or I'm not trying to do anything like that. It's just, I'm basically saying what other people would want to say, but they don't have the balls.
They're afraid. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, and to your point, I think a lot of it really comes from the fact that like people see social media as some embellished version, right? Because you see the YouTubers, and my son's now 7 and watching YouTube, and I'm seeing all these embellished YouTubers. There's a few that are actually pretty educational. I'm like, yeah, you can watch those. Like they're teaching them money and like sharing and all the good stuff. Good. But there's a lot of them that's just so dumb, and it's all like, it's all clickbait titles, and it's all like super embellished behavior. And I think people have come to the conclusion, if you're going to be on social media, that's how you get attention. That's how you get views. And rather than building something organic like you've done, or I'm trying to do right now, which is like, this is me. The person you get here is the same person you're going to get off screen.
And that's 100%, like straight up, dude.
Like I don't switch up.
Yeah.
I might be a little louder here or there, or like, but for the most part, what you're getting, this dynamic is who we are off screen. Yeah. And so, it doesn't get as many clicks. It doesn't get 1 million views. It gets 1,000. It doesn't get, it doesn't go viral, but it stays in the lane of people that want to watch what I do and connect with me, or connect with my clients or my guests, and allow, like, that gives my guests a platform of real people, right? Mm-hmm. Real avatar people that may want to work with you and buy or sell a home. Or my last client owns a company called Polygirl, and it's a Polynesian brand specifically to women that they don't feel like are represented, right? And it gave her a platform to go out and tell her story. So
that's huge.
I think that's the thing, right? Like social media can be used correctly if you're going to stay yourself.
Yeah.
Don't switch up.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we live in a very distracted, very short attention span kind of society, right?
Huh?
This is what I'm talking about, man.
My bad.
This dude.
My brain took a little siesta there.
Good though, man. His jokes are hilarious, but then, dude, I catch him like when we were in Vegas, man, just in the corner, just conducting business, and I'm like, bro, that dude's savage, man. I love it, bro. So I think that's why there's a yin and a yang, but it meshes well, right?
Yeah. So, I knew there's a reason I keep him around.
Hey, dude, I'm just being real, bro.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I was saying with the YouTube, I am. My girlfriend has an 8-year-old, right? And I've never dated anyone with a kid, or I've my friends have kids and all that. But
yeah, I know that's never been on your radar.
Yeah, and I when I hung out with and the kids were around, they weren't watching YouTube. Like let's say in an evening, just hanging out after dinner, and I started noticing on what the stuff that he's watching. You hit it on the head. It's like 10 to 15-second shorts of like some wildly
We do not let him
stuff.
watch shorts. I'm like, shorts are out of control. You can watch these specific long form shows. You're not allowed to watch the vertical screen stuff.
That's the thing, dude. It's like, watch this slime go water.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at these. I'm like, these are grown men doing child stuff like that just to get clicks, or just to have the parents pay for a certain product, or have this. Like, dude, I'm like, bro. And then the kids are just like, oh. I'm like, dude, this is not good for education, like for
pervasive,
the mind, for the mind, right? And so we have to be careful on what our future is going to be looking like, and how their mindsets are going to be. So,
dude, I was at his back to school night last night, and his teacher's been teaching 28 years. And she said the last couple of years it's completely switched. Now she's like, I think half the kids in the class want to be YouTubers as their profession. It's not firefighters, police officers, lawyers, accountants, whatever. It's YouTuber.
Yep.
It's not professional sports player. It's not professional athlete anymore.
Influencers are gonna be our actors in the future, right?
Right.
Movies might even just kind of like dwindle down, right?
I mean, you saw a big part of that whole strike in Hollywood was over AI being able to use your voice and likeness without having to pay you, because they can just cast it as AI.
Yeah, a lot of changes. The whole internet change happened in our lifetime.
Yep.
There's going to be major changes as well in the next 10, 15 years. So everybody better prepare yourselves, especially with your business. Adapt now.
So I love that topic, and I want to ask you about that. How are you adapting your real estate brand to the evolving AI world? Like, how are you utilizing it? Are you against it? Are you kind of somewhere in between?
No, I think if you are the type to be against something new, whether it could be good or bad, but it's going to be used, right? It's going to happen. Let's not, kid ourselves, right? If you're against it some way because of like, oh, this and that, you're old school, you're comfortable, you're in a comfort space, or you just are too lazy to adapt.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to adapt. As a business owner, you're going to have to adapt. You adapt when there's new regulations in regard to like owning a business. Hey, new taxes coming in, or new regulations for your business that you have to do that. They're uncomfortable. They suck, but you have to adapt if you want to keep going. Right. So you have to adapt to that. You have to accept what's coming, or else just get out of the business. Go work a 9 to 5 and go to home after 5 o'clock. Don't worry about it. Live comfortably. Go weekends, live comfortably, don't worry about it. But if you want to thrive and make your business and livelihood the way you want to be, you have to take advantage of these things, or else it's going to take advantage of you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really great point, is you have to be aware and open to progress, right? Like, you can't fight progress. There's too many people out there, a whole generation of kids that are going to be experts. Today's expert, they will be that at 16 in like the next 6 or 7 years, right? Like, and the experts will be eons above what they're at now. And you got to at least know enough to combat it, right? Like, and I'm not even talking about focusing on what your competitors are doing. I'm talking about being able to combat fraudulent use, scams, right? Knowing enough to work your way through what the landscape will look like if you plan on running a business, or even probably just having a job in the next 5 to 10 years.
And there's a large portion of our society that is looking into that, the fraud part, right? They're like, oh, well, instead of using it for the good, they're like, well, there's ways of doing this and that, right?
Faking voices. I'm in jail. Send me bail money.
Yep. Yep. All
Scary,
that stuff.
man.
Yeah. It's
scary.
And that's something that you have to have a good sit down or, you know, a family structure, especially if you have kids and stuff, and really talk to them. And even your kids at a certain age really have to educate us later on, because we're going to be those old people that we think we might be caught up, but it's going to be evolving quick. Right. So, there has to be a lot of communication and between businessmen and businesswomen and, you know, everybody that needs to not be egotistical or hold things tight, right? We have to educate ourselves and hold, you know, conversations, be like, this is what I saw, be careful. This is what, you know, you need to look out for and all that stuff. Because it's going to be a huge change in the business world and in any realm of business.
Where do you feel like it's going to have the most impact? Like, say, as a client, I'm looking to buy or sell a home. Where do I need to expect AI at this point to like be a part of what I'm doing?
The marketing, there's going to be a lot.
Is it into like the what am I looking for here? Like the pricing and like looking for comps and stuff like that at this point, and doing predictability on sales prices and stuff like that?
Algorithms have always been there, right? That hasn't been there yet. I'm not quite sure how that's going to be, but I think that there's going to be a lot of changes in the marketing, in the way people see homes, in the way, you know, maybe you don't have to go see, and we saw it a little bit through COVID, right?
Right.
And so, you know, just the way you're able to market the property, the way you're able to do things on social media, right? Even from little things from how to communicate with your client. ChatGPT, you could just, I need an email template to let them know on how the inspection process goes.
Yeah.
You know, and those are the good part of the business, right? You're making your business more efficient. In regard to real estate, I don't think, no matter what, there always has to be a human touch to it, because it's one of the biggest decisions that someone's going to be making, right? And one of the biggest investments.
I mean, yeah. I mean, majority of people, their wealth is tied up in
real estate,
their home, their main home.
Yeah. So, I think it's going to take a while for someone to really trust some kind of website that's through AI or even in the future a robot, right? So it's going to be very different with that, but I don't think the human touch is going to be ever not be present in real estate. And I'm not saying that because I'm in real estate. I'm not in real estate for the long run. Let's all face it. I don't want to be that 65-year-old realtor with pleated pants thinking I know everything and, you know, showing houses and shit, dude. At that time, I want to be in Italy somewhere drinking wine from a freaking...
Yeah, in Napoli with your family.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, dude. You know, I mean, and I'm not saying I don't love my profession. It's just, I'm just saying at that age, I know I'm not going to be doing the best service for the client, right?
Right.
You have to be active. I mean, and I'm not saying that there's older agents that are not good or, you know, whatever, but there is a difference in this day and age, right? The younger, more savvy agents that are intelligent and that know the process and know contracts and all that are killing it because they take advantage of all this stuff, right?
Right.
And if you provide that to a client, the client's going to be like, I don't care if you've been a 40-year-old agent in the neighborhood realtor and you're send me a fucking pumpkin recipe every month or pumpkin pie recipe. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's different, right? So, but yeah, I don't think, I think it's the human interaction is always going to be there. It's just how the human uses that technology.
How important are soft skills still to this day? Is that still a really important part of the job, is like having those soft skills to work through like stressful situations, rejected offers, right? Like long time having a house on the market and not selling. Like, are those soft skills still a very dependable part of the job to retain a client, or is it more?
What do you mean soft?
So soft skills is like, you know, kindness and empathy and like.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I mean, English is a second language. I grew up in Mexico. Soft skills have been a huge part of my business. And because most clients are coming in here blind, right? Yeah. They don't know what real estate or how the transactional part is or contracts are or anything like that. And what is the first thing that happens is they get flustered, they get emotional. Another thing is that their home is an emotional place for them, right? Soft skills will always be important. Always be important. You can't be, I'm a professional and this is how we do it. You got to know how to say it in a very compassionate way, right?
Yeah.
So, again, goes back to the human interaction, right? If you're not able to adjust and know your client right away and judge their character of like, oh, okay, this one's going to be a little bit, softer on this part, and then the husband's going to be, okay, so you got to be very...
it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine like a divorced couple that are trying to sell the house that they've been ordered by the courts to sell and split the profits. Like you're going to have two different people with two different, completely different motives.
I've worked a few of those deals. Yeah. And I've done well with them because I completely, never disrespect any of them, be in the middle, but also guide them in the right way, but also know how their personality is, right? So making them comfortable with you will make it easier for them to deal with the other person. So
I'm going to leave you this last question because I think this is important. I want to respect your time. If somebody's younger and they're like, I want to get into real estate, or maybe they're in our age and they're like, I need to get out of the industry. Man, I've always wanted to get into real estate. Where do they start? Where do you recommend? Like it's a couple things they can do. So
a couple things that you could do, you could either go about it my way, which I don't recommend. It's very few could do it that way. Is just going online, finding a real estate, program like Allied Real Estate or some other ones, and just taking their course, getting their certification, then signing up through the website of the Department of Real Estate and taking the test, and then from there go find a broker that will take you on. Right? You could do that if you're savvy and you're a go-getter and you can figure things out by your own. But if you kind of are timid and you need some guidance, true guidance, I suggest look for certain brokers or certain realtors like myself. Come to me or come to whoever you're comfortable with and be like, hey, how do I get into real estate? Can you help me or guide me through this? Can you take me on as like an apprentice or like as an assistant and go through there? There's a lot of other brokerages, old school brokerages that do take them in and even pay for their test and give them mentorship, right?
Right.
I think that's a great way. They're not the best brokerages long term, but they're the best.
They get you in the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's that you saying you're interested in taking someone on. So if they want to reach out, they can.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Yeah, I'm at the point of my career where I could finally be comfortable to give my best to them, because before some people came up to me, but I was like, well, I'm still learning some things, right? So I'm not, but yeah, most definitely.
Where can they find you? Like social media, website, or anything?
So at K Avalar Homes, social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or website is www.kavalarhomes.com.
We'll drop it all in the description on YouTube, and it'll be in the Spotify too, so you guys can find it if you need it.
Or any local taco truck. I'm over there just hanging out.
What's the name of the restaurant? And if people are in that area?
Guadalajara Grill. Say it.
Guadalajara Grill.
Guadalajara Grill.
Hey.
Guadalajara Grill in Concord, California, 5446 Ignacio Valley Road. It's down the street from the Concord Pavilion, if people don't.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
all
so, yeah, big concerts over there. So, Clayton, Concord border.
Yep, I'll be running a 10-miler over there in a couple weeks.
Well,
in Clayton,
you know where to get the margarita.
Yeah, well, I know exactly where I'm going after.
Celebration, yes. Let me know.
Hell yeah.
I won't be running it, though.
No, you don't have to. I don't blame you. It looks terrible.
Yeah, I mean, hey, no, big ups, dude. I see your videos on running that, man. Hey, talk about determination and grit, dude.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
And getting kicked right in the dick. chewed up and spit it right out, man.
I bet you walk in the next day, you're like,
oh, I'm still walking bow-legged like almost a week later.
That's
exactly
awesome.
A week later.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
But that's why you got to challenge yourself. So then you can go do the fun stuff, like take a month in Europe, because you're not afraid of the challenge. You're not afraid of the discomfort level, because you've put yourself through so much more uncomfortable stuff.
Build confidence to live your life.
I love it, man. Anything you want to leave everybody with? Any words of advice, wisdom?
I mean, honestly, it's been a pleasure, dude. I know we've been talking about this a while, but yeah, it's always good seeing you.
Hell yeah.
And, yeah. He sucks at golf, but I still go golf with him.
Oh my God. We're about to do an entire golf episode so you can see.
Yeah, do some clips.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull my DJI on and just hide it between my buttons, and just so you can see how bad this dude swings.
Oh, it's bad, dude. But hey, you know what, man? Usually I'm the one trimming the course and mowing it, dude. So.
Yeah, he'll make a terrible swing and be talking shit. like, are you kidding me?
Sorry, bro. I talk a lot when I'm playing golf. I'm having fun, man.
Yeah, no, it's great. We wouldn't be friends if I couldn't handle the shit talk.
Yeah, definitely.
I appreciate you having you, man. Thanks for sharing your time. And don't forget, guys, you got questions, definitely reach out. He's a wealth of knowledge in the real estate industry, and he's a pretty okay guy sometimes.
Love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
Take it easy.
Thanks
brother.
again.
Thank you, brother.
And as always, keep digging in.